Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I am doing this video in response to a question someone had emailed me. T sent me a email asking about coffee storage, whole bean that has been roasted, and do I think if you stored it a certain way it would last a certain length of time. She was looking to get 2 years of shelf stable storage out of the coffee, and then went a little further to say that she'd been having problems collecting some of the stuff to do this because the price of the Mylar bags had gone up and different things. And I replied quite a bit of different things, and I thought, you know, we should do almost a back to basics video series on how to store this food. Now I'm going to spin you around and I'll show you. We're down here in the bunker, as my friends call it, and I'll show you. And not this is everything from pet food to medicinals, toilet paper, all kinds of stuff, just different stuff. And spin this back around again, get us situated there. Now we're back. So this did not happen overnight. It took me years to accumulate this, as well as a lot of other things that I don't show on camera. But the basics. Let's store food. We want to use beans and rice and coffee as well. How about that? Let's do something like that. Pasta. We'll do pasta. Beans and rice and pasta. It's all we're going to work on today, and we're going to do it for storing, to put in a pantry at the back maybe, or under a bed in a tub for a longer term storage. And then we're going to do it for extremely long term. Mylar bags, 5-gallon buckets. You know how us preppers are as far as buckets go. It's not hard to do this stuff. It takes a little bit of planning and a little bit of discipline to continue to do it, because sometimes you just get sick of doing this, all of this stuff. Sometimes you just get kind of sick of it, but you can't let your stuff stay that way. Take a little vacation from it and then come back to it. We are living in a time when being a prepper is very essential, and it can also make you a target. And just so you guys know, if any of you have above ground pools or regular in-ground pools, there is a run on pool chemicals. There's going to be a shortage very quickly. So if you were going to go buy shock or chlorine tablets or something like that, and you were going to go buy one or two cases, and you're going to say, oh my goodness, that would take from some people who didn't have it. And yes, it would, and you would have it. Moving on to the next thing, let's look. I've got some stuff laid out here on the floor, and we're going to start from left to right, and I'm just going to show you. We do a lot of storage in these plastic containers that we use. We buy a lot of pasta sauce. I'm going to take us off the tripod, so you're going to jump around for just a second. We buy a lot of pasta sauce and then use our canned tomatoes with it to make pasta, lasagna, all kinds of different stuff. But what we do, we clean them and we remove the labels. This is stuff that my grandmother did. Lord have mercy, don't throw away a mayonnaise jar or a margarine tub in her house, because you would get a whipping and have to dig it out of the garbage. Again, glass jars, we do this. And this is the easy stuff that we do, because with those glass jars, then you can do something like this. Put in a moisture absorber. These are strike-on box matches, and you have something that is very shelf stable and will work for many years. Keep it dry with the moisture absorber, and that is one thing that we use. We buy black olives in jars like that. Black olive stuffed with feta. That's not prepping stuff. If you like it, buy it. It's not all really about prepping. It's just about regular eating. So this is just kind of glossed over these containers. I won't buy any other type of container except for these kind of containers. I love the pickles. I love the containers. Juice containers. You can use juice containers for so much. This originally had, I'm going to say Hawaiian Punch in it or something like that. And you can see all-purpose flour 1018, and so we used it. Now you can just take a little bit of alcohol, wipe that off, the Sharpie comes off, and then you can fill it with whatever you need to, beans, rice, pasta, stuff like that. You will need an assortment of funnels. This is a fantastic funnel. I saw these and I bought 5 of them. They're like $1.50. You can get them from your auto parts store. They just work really well as far as pouring from one container into another, and they fit these big ones, and you can get pasta down the throat of these things. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, this is for canning, and that works really good. Really good. Now, on to Mylar as well as vacuum sealing bags. This is what we have. This is basmati rice. I write the recipes and the instructions on one side and the calories on the other side, and then the date that I packed it up, 3/18. I packed it up the same time I bought it, so that should work out really well. And then we have purchased Silica drying packs, Desiccant. These are oxygen absorbers. These are what you would put into the Mylar bags, like these, after you have them packed, and then you quickly seal them with a curling iron or a heater sealer that's made specifically for that purpose. These, when you take them out, they are pink. This is an exposure device. When they are exposed to oxygen, you will see they begin to turn a purple, and they will actually go to a blue color if left out. I open that one up just to kind of give you an idea as to what is on the inside of it. That's been exposed to oxygen. That one has not. The thing about oxygen absorbers, they are not going to suck all the air out of your bag. They will not. They will not. They are oxygen absorbers. The air that we breathe is about 70% other gases, and about, I'm going to say 28%, I think that's right, oxygen. So it's only going to absorb oxygen. Now you can get the vacuum seal bags, and that will really draw it down. One of the things you need to know about the vacuum seal bags here, I buy them on the roll, and I use them, and and then it cuts them and everything, and I use different sizes as well. If you are doing pasta, spaghetti, lasagna noodles, the edges will cut through your vacuum seal bag, and some of the rice will as well. So you have a really hard time doing a vacuum seal. Here is a trick and a tip. Buy paper bags, lunch bags, stuff like that. Put your lasagna or spaghetti noodles in the paper bag, fold it up, vacuum seal it like that. And that way, the paper sack will help protect the plastic. And I know some people are going to say, oh my God, you're having that in there with it. Yes, paper. The pasta came in a cardboard box. There you go. Moving right along. Mylar bags. Mylar bags is what preppers live for and love. Mylar bags, 5-gallon buckets. How about that? It's good stuff. These things work really good. They're expensive. I am working on my last box. I'm probably going to have to buy some more in the next month. And I really hate it. I wish I had bought a lot more. I think I bought 100 for $30 right before Corona. And so it's going to be like January 2020. And that's what I got left. If you do not have access to Mylar bags, I'm going to show you another trick. Mylar bags. Wait a minute, where'd you get them? They're potato chip bags. Potato chip bags are Mylar bags. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Now, some people are going to say, oh my goodness, those aren't as thick. I hope nobody's going to say they're not food grade, because there's food in them. Okay, so we've established they're food grade. If you're concerned about the Mylar bag not being as thick and not keeping your food safe, use 2 bags. Put the food inside one bag, seal it up, slide it in a slightly larger bag, and seal it up. It'll be double bagged. And it will be perfectly fine. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we have done. The paper lunch sack tip. Danny Berryhill told me that, because he's a buddy of mine up in somewhere, someplace, that told me that trick, and it works really good. Now, I'm going to show you, this is stuff that we packed up in 2020. I've already cracked it open to make sure. Put it inside a bag. A lot of times in these 5-gallon buckets, I put bay leaves in the bottom of the bucket. Bay leaves are a natural repellent. Whenever I do rice, flour, anything like that, I put bay leaves in. And I want to show you some of the stuff that we use. I'll bounce over to this cornstarch. I also use a lot of mason jars. These are free. Mason jars are expensive now. Self-rising white meal cornmeal, and you can see that there is an oxygen absorber in there, and oh, there's the bay leaf. You can kind of see it in there. That helps with weevils. A lot of people, there you can see what I do a lot of drying in the Excalibur. Look at that mushroom, ain't that pretty? That's off my own property. Now, a lot of people kind of frown on doing it this way, using the jars and everything. I guess because they don't conform as well. One of the things my wife has asked me to do, or to not do, is to not do a lot of mason jars with this stuff, like spices, herbs, pastas, rice, and stuff like that. Because the grandkids come down here and she didn't want them to grab one and pull it down and drop it. Hence, you can see I am probably the only person who has a bunker with Oriental rugs. I put these everywhere, and that way if I do drop a jar, it does not bust Gives me a little bit more protection. I dropped a half-gallon jar of powdered milk. That was in a half-gallon mason jar, and that hurt because that was kind of pricey. This is how I do a lot of my pastas, and different types. Everything gets put in plastic containers. This is the rice. This is what I was talking about. This is a small jar. I had this in like a go-away bag. What's a go-away bag? If something should ever happen and someone comes up to my door and says, "Hey, we're starving. We need food. I know that you're a prepper. Can I have something to eat?" And I will say, "Okay, this is what you can have. Here's directions on the map. A mile up the road, off to the side of X road, by the fire hydrant. Dig down, and in a 5-gallon bucket, you're going to find a bag, a little backpack full of staples, dry goods. Go away." There you go. That's the nicest thing I could think of doing for some people, and it's a good backup. Might work, might not, who knows. But the original question that T had asked, can I keep whole bean coffee for about 2 years? Yes, absolutely, I can. And it's still very fresh, and it tastes good. I will show you. This is French roast whole bean, and it was packed in 4/1/2018, and it is as good as the day. I should have let you listen to it because I just popped the seal on it. Should have smell-o-vision. It smells fantastic. It's still good. One of the things you can also do if you're concerned about coffee for long-term storage, you can get freeze-dried coffee. Well, where do you buy freeze-dried coffee? Well, it's freeze-dried coffee. This is Dollar General, $1, 32 cups. Okay, here's the thing. I drink 2 cups a day. My wife drinks 1 cup of coffee a day. So, if this is 32 cups, 1 cup would last one person 1 cup of coffee every day for a month. So, 3 cups, I would need 3 jars. So, I went and bought 3 times 10 is 30, 36. I think I broke down and bought 40 jars of this. Put them in different 5-gallon jars or 5-gallon buckets. Stored them aside. I've got a year's worth of freeze-dried coffee. You can buy the expensive stuff, and I suppose I should make the stuff and sell it myself, but this is easy to do, guys. It's really easy. Buy one of these for a month. After 2 months, you've got 2 months worth of coffee if you drink 1 cup a day. There you go. But yes, can you store coffee, whole bean, already roasted, for 2 years? Well, that's going on 3 years right there. And it is fine and really good. I will probably put another oxygen absorber in it since I cracked it open, because I don't need it right now. We do a lot of storage of just regular food items. This is what I call a deep pantry system. So, well, you can see coffee, coffee, coffee. And then as we build up to like 4, then we cycle through and we buy 1 more a month. Tea. We drink a pretty good bit of tea. I drink unsweetened tea. My wife and my daughter drink sweet tea. So we keep tea bags, and then more tea and more tea and tea. And a lot of this I've got to get organized again. But you can see where we are going with this. These containers can be as easy as asking your neighbors and your friends for their soft drink 2-liter bottles, or their Hawaiian punch bottles, or their pickle jars, or mayonnaise jars, or pasta jars. These do really good, really nice way to store it, and it doesn't break. That's the nice thing, and it's really transportable. And all you have to do is just grab it and go. These, I keep instructions in the bag. You have your nutrition facts, and then you have your cooking directions. Sometimes, like on these, I put it on the front as well. And that way, it might not be you. It might be someone that you trade with or barter with. That way they know how to cook it as well. You can see the bay leaf. You pour this out, you prepare everything, take the bay leaf and throw it in there, and that goes a long way to making your dinner much better. Mix in with rice, and you have a really good meal that you can feed probably 5 or 6 people for one meal. You don't have to just eat horrible, nasty, terrible food, and you don't have to prep it. Do not prep and store potted meat or smoked oysters if you don't like smoked oysters. Don't do it. If you find mushrooms on sale, 10 cans for $1, and you don't like mushrooms, don't buy them, because they're just going to go bad, and that's a waste. That $1 would have been better spent on something else, a box of Band-Aids or something like that. Honey, sugar, confectioner's sugar, brown sugar, dark cocoa, all that stuff. Spices, buy them in bulk when you can. Grow them, that's even better, and then dry them out. Or you could dehydrate them if you have an Excalibur, or just hang them under your porch and let the sun dry them out for you. Anyway, guys, this is running really long. I'll break it up into small segments and small bites, but I just wanted to show you again. This again, lasagnas, pastas, and that is how I do it. I try to do it in manageable pieces, and the like I said, the bag instructions are inside it, and the amount of what it is on the outside. It is not hard to do this. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts, send me a question. dtaylor17 at bham.rr.com or mayhemcountryliving at gmail.com, and include in the subject prepping questions, and I'll make sure to fish them out of my spam folder if they get sent there for some reason. It's not hard to do this stuff. It takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of planning. Learn from my mistakes, because I have made a whole lot of them down along the way. Don't forget to take a look at us on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com, and they are a little more free thinking and open-minded, and we talk about different things on that channel. Also, if you like what we're doing and want to help us out, consider supporting us on Patreon. You will get information and all kinds of good juicy knowledge before anybody else will, and a lot of stuff that nobody else will know about. Take care of you people.